Want to hear my impression of a bird? Tweet, dang it! Tweet! And we are back with Dread Canaries against the Iron Storm. I'm Dread Canary, the game is Against the Storm, and we are playing on Iron Man, which is not officially supported. The way Iron Man works is I'm playing every difficulty twice. After playing it twice, I have to increase the difficulty, and if we ever lose a map, by which I mean we run out of the Queen's patience, or all of our villagers leave us or die, we have to start over. I reset progress on the save file, replay the tutorial, and have to start over at Settler. Now, I've already lost once. I got to Prestige 2 before losing, which is a lot lower than I thought it would be. And then for this second run, we did Settler, Pioneer, and Veteran all off-stream. I did that on my own time because there's not a lot of challenge before we get to Viceroy, which used to be called Impossible. Now, as you can see, we've got 3 towns already in. This is still the first cycle after the tutorial, so we are going to be doing our second Prestige 1 run, and I'm going to split this up into 2 videos. Of course, if you're watching this on stream, there's just a 5-minute break in between the 2 halves, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you gotta wait a full day. Or watch this at some point in the future where you don't have to deal with my scheduling updates. But whatever. The point is we will need more food supplies and machinery in order to advance up the unlockables tree in the smoldering city. And last time, Los Angelos opened up the ability to play next to the fertile grounds, which has more fertile soil, and next to the barren lands, which has no fertile soil. So, because this has machinery explicitly in it, we are going to go for the barren lands. Actually, you know what? We're going to go here. You know, it's Royal Woodlands either way. Yeah, here's fine. It's Royal Woodlands either way. Now, since we don't have any fertile soil, this means we are going to be strapped for food, ladies and gentlemen, so we are going to have to figure out how to deal with that. And of course, we're going to start by getting my beloved beavers, not just because I love them, but because it has 2 additional villagers. So we're going to have 11 villagers, which will let us get more done in the early game. We have 3 points to work with. Since we know we're going to have food issues, I'm going to go ahead and just blow my entire budget on food. And let's name our settlement, I don't know, something like Dust Bowl. Sounds good to me. The Dust Bowl was a period where a whole lot of farmland turned out to not be very arable for a couple of years, and it caused a massive famine. So let's take a look at our mysteries. So our one positive, hey, there we go. Our one positive is that during drizzle, traders are going to arrive 300% quicker. Now, in practice, this means that the traders are just going to show up about twice as fast as usual because of this massive bonus happening for a little less than half the year. We've got our usual debuff. At Hostility 1, trade routes during the storm costs more. Okay. At Hostility 2, living matter spawns on farm fields. Hey, no farm fields. That's cool. Don't mind that. Rotting wood. Okay, so starting at Hostility 2, we can cut trees fast, but we don't get any wood from it. That is a problem. And then vanishing goods. So starting in Hostility 4, villagers have a 10% chance of using more goods when consuming services, which joke's on you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do services because it's not very sustainable to sit around when you can't farm. We got a bunch of vanilla glades around us and 1 spicy glade over here. I think that's our only spicy glade within reach. Yeah, so I'm actually going to go ahead and open these up just so I can get at whatever stuff is inside of them. And yeah, that's going to raise the hostility of the forest, but I mean, what can you do? I don't have the ability to grow food, so I have to pick it. Let's go ahead and put a thing there, and we'll put one here. And we're going to mark that we want all of these trees. We're not going to quite open that up. We're just going to go all the way up to the edge. Now, fun thing to note, the developers of this game, and I don't remember the new name. I know it used to be Aramite Games, but then they got a larger label behind them, so the logo's different now. But whatever, the developers have released a new set of content, which changes how mines work. They've updated a couple of icons, and they've got an official roadmap from the early access going live on Steam on November, I want to say November 1st. It's next week, so it's real soon. And then they're expecting to at least add one more species. They got a couple of other features they want to add in the next 6 months, but the plan is to go full release mode in about 6 months from this video. So we should be looking at something like May, June, maybe even, July next summer, because anything that is planned takes longer than planned. That's just how life seems to be. For example, I thought I would have a website by April, and it took me until August, and I thought I would have already queried an agent, but I haven't. I've just got a list of potential people. For those of you who don't know, I wrote a book about how to meet the emotional needs of neurotypical people when I myself am slightly on the spectrum and not very naturally in touch with emotions. And I'm looking to get it published. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so we know we're going to have food issues, and that, So I'm thinking the Forager's Camp or the Herbalist Camp, just to let us pick whichever one we happen to find. The Explorer's Lodge could be really good, since both beavers and harpies like education, and harpies like brawling. But the problem is, I'm gonna need food. So we're gonna go ahead and take the Herbalist Camp. They really want me to take this Explorer's Lodge, don't they? But I think I'm going to go Carpenter. Since we went Carpenter, the tool shop takes us from 2 to 3. The lumber mill takes us from 2 to 3 on planks. So neither of these is really good. Wine is good for beavers, so is pickled goods. Jerky is good for, I think, humans and harpies. So the cellar's fine, and you can make it out of mushrooms and berries. The Tinkerer is straight up bad at this point, because all it's really going to give me is training gear for the harpies. I could also reroll. I'm going to save my reroll and get the cellar. Okay. So we want a crude workstation right here. Let's take our first cornerstone. Okay, 3 roots per minute is really good when we don't have other default sources of food. 3 packs of provisions for every new villager makes it easy to do trade routes, but not much else. So we're going to go route delivery line. Let's go ahead and set up our carpenter. I think there looks nice. Set up a cellar. And let's go to speed 2. Come on. Solve any 2 dangerous or forbidden glades to get +1 copper production, wildfire essence, and a tool shop. Or get 3 human and 3 beaver houses for +2 flour production, some bricks, and 3 people. Let's go with this. Now, I'm definitely going to want to solve glade events, but I'm also going to want to do the trading post, and free biscuits is always nice. They both have free tools. Planks and more people is also good for growth. So I'm thinking, in this case, not dangerous glade events, just glade events. Let's go with the glade events. Discover 5 glades. I'm not even going to look at the other one, because, yeah, okay, these are fine. But I've got so many glades I'm going to want to open anyway. Let's just make that happen right away. Okay, so we've got woodcutters, woodcutters. Let's go ahead and collect this food. Just go ahead and do that. And we are into our first glade, which doesn't have any events to solve, but it does have 2 more sources of food. So we should be fine on food for a while. Good to know. Okay. Now, this requires 5 planks and 2 fabrics. So let's go ahead and set a cap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's go ahead and turn on all of these, but say do this first and this second. And we'll say turn on both of those, but do this first and this second. Sounds good. And we will put 1 human in there. Okay, so now we are producing some basic building materials. Yeah, I don't have any stone that I can collect, so let's go ahead and just move this out of the way. And now we've got access to a couple more spicy glades, so that should help next year. Yeah. And you know, I'm definitely... Who do I have? That's a harpy? No. No. I'm gonna make that a human to give me extra time. Harpies do increase how much you can carry, and that is very useful. But its effect scales with how many villagers you have, right? Because if I've got 5 guys carrying, an extra 5, that's 25 carrying capacity. But if I've got 30 guys carrying an extra 5, that's 150 carrying capacity. So it's quite good. And it's not like it's bad early, but what I mostly want is time for me to get more villagers, to get more resources, and to get really my economic feet under me to develop a fully functioning town. So I'd rather have the humans passive of Queen's Impatience growing slower than the Harpy's carrying capacity, at least in the early game. Beaver's passive is that they use less fuel. So if you are short on fuel, beavers can save you. Though it's very rare that that happens. If you're that low on fuel, you're probably losing anyway. And then Lizard's passive is that everyone gets a slight resolve bonus. They're a little bit happier when lizards tend the fire. And lizards are very happy to tend the fire in the first place, so it's a win-win there. So my personal ranking is humans, lizards, harpies, and then beavers. Though the meta, if you go with what everyone in the forums and on Reddit says, is that you should be putting harpies in your hearth. At least your main hearth. And then lizards in every other hearth, because it'll make the lizards happy, as I previously said. We're going to go ahead and work through the storm with our woodcutters. Given that starting at hostility level 2, they won't get any wood from cutting wood during the storm, I will not do this in future years. But for now, at least, I would rather get as much space as I can in which to expand my village. And of course, these people are losing happiness. So my 2 options are either burn fuel, which I forgot to turn that off, I don't want to do, or just cut less wood. So I guess we are cutting less wood, just so we don't have that massive resolve hit. But we're still cutting some wood, right? There's still 2 beavers working, beavering away, as it were. And also, given that I'm going to not be able to cut wood during the storm, it's kind of imperative that I set up a 3rd woodworking or woodcutting camp, just to make sure that I have enough reserves in case I need to burn extra fuel. Okay. Every 2 newly dissolved dangerous glades lowers hostility by 50. That's really good. Gain 3 global resolve every time I finish a trade route. That's fine. Get 40 water skins for every full reputation point obtained through high resolve. That's... Free water skins would let me make ale or wine, but only if I have the stuff to make that with. I'm going to go with Calming the Forest. Lower hostility is always good. Get a nice balanced pack of people and repopulate our beaver cutters. There we go. Do I have a beaver over here? I have 2 beavers over here. Well, we don't need that. Let's make you a human. Let's make you a pair of harpies. And put a beaver here. And then we've just got a spare beaver who's doing all of the construction. That works for me. Okay. Not that I have any construction to do. At least not yet. But the good news is that our wood stockpiles are going to grow significantly. We're keeping up on food. Yeah. I would love to get these people housed, but I really need this carpenter to go up for me to do that. We're still missing one set of lumber, or planks, I should say. Make planks next, and then after you make planks, I'm going to turn off plank making in that location. Let's see here. 2 ancient artifacts, or level 1 with 2 settlements in trade routes. So there's 3 other settlements plus the smoldering city. Level 1 requires 2 trade routes completed, so this is 4 trade routes total for 20 amber, 2 wildfire essence, and 5 parts. I've already got a bunch of missions that'll get me people, and this just gives me packs of goods, which I don't love. So let's go with making connections. Burn 12 blight rot cysts, which is an inevitability to get people, amber, and hey, packs of goods again. Or make harpies happy to get some fabric, pigment, and bonus skewer production, which I don't know how to make currently. Let's go with the fire razor, because I'm going to have to do it eventually anyway, or my people are going to die. I'm not exaggerating there. The corruption, once it gets to the point where it starts building, it can actually kill villagers every storm. So you do need to build a building to make especially powerful fuel that can burn that. Let's set a cap on these at 20 each. It's really inefficient to make it in the crude workstation. So I would rather have a small pile of reserves than waste a ton of resources in case I get better buildings later. Let's move you closer in. And let's move this guy around the side here. Actually, let's go ahead and open up this glade while we're at it. I like my nice trimmed edges. It's not optimal, but I mean, games are for fun, right? It's a city builder. It's a timed city builder with orders, but it's still a city builder, so I want to make towns that I think look nice. I don't think that's a bad way to play. I'll have to sacrifice that eventually, because the higher level prestiges are no joke. At Prestige 1, all we have is more reputation that we have to get, but you start getting penalties, and those penalties escalate quickly, and they build every time you go up a tier of prestige. Okay. So we've got a clay deposit. We've got a small abandoned cache. If we can get some tools, we can pop that open. I don't have anyone to work the stonecutter's camp, but I might as well put it there to show willing. How about... Yeah, you're already delivering your stuff. Good job. Good human. Love that. And once they deliver it, there will be enough planks to make the carpenter. There it goes. Oh, chat's quiet today. More of you than usual, but not saying anything. I see you in the channel, just lurking. That's cool. Apparently, I'm going to just assume that if you're not talking, you don't have any complaints, and I'm not making any super dumb mistakes. Just the usual kind, not super dumb. Okay, so I'm thinking we'll put our... Oh, what did I just do? That's not the right size of a city block. We want this. And we're going to put beaver. 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 Human. Human. Great. Of course, I don't have any actual lumber, or planks with which to make those houses, but that is a problem that we're about to solve. There we go. So let's put 3 beavers in here for the duration of the storm, and only make packs of luxury goods. And when you do this, make it out of planks. And copper is fine, because we don't have the other thing anyway. Excellent. We're going to cap it at 100 planks, because if we ever need more than 100 planks, there's going to be an issue. You're doing a thing. You're doing a thing. We can put a couple of beavers over here, collecting this clay. And a couple here, collecting this plant matter. Hey, thanks. Now people are talking. Watched a bit of the last game. Nice job recovering from that explosion. Thank you. Yes, it was rough. Has Prestige been in the game for a while, or is it new? I haven't noticed before. Yes. So, when you... I think you have to beat it on Viceroy, which used to be called Impossible, for Prestige 1 to show up. And then every time you beat Prestige, the next level of Prestige is there. It's been in the game for, I want to say, at least a year now. I got myself on a non-streaming run to Prestige 20 this summer. Accuse us of being quiet and we will speak up. Exactly, yes, thank you. I'm so glad that you're speaking up. It does make streaming more fun when I'm interacting with people and not just chatting in an empty room. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the next bag. No, you know what? I feel humans. Let's get some humans. You're fired. You did a great job, but I need you to cut some trees. And you're also fired. Same reason. Trees. And while we're at it, you're fired in favor of trees. But this guy can stay. Let's... Prestige update was March 31st. Hey, someone reads the patch notes. Good job. You managed to enlist some excellent hunters. Meat production has increased every 25 times it's produced. So the thing is, I would need a trapper's camp, and I would need to find meat patches, which I don't think are very common in this biome. Gain an ancient tablet for every 2 glade events solved, added retroactively. Okay. Gain a villager every time you discover a new glade. Let's go with the hidden reward, because those ancient tablets can show up as missions, but also they can be sold to a trader for a lot of money. And we will put a single harpy up there. Scavenger's camp has nothing nearby. Well, that's fine. There's more eggs and roots up here for you. Harpies are unhappy. Why? Just because of how hostile the forest is. Okay. How do we fix that? Light treatment will work for now. I must not have noticed since I only watch and not play it myself. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. And there's not a whole lot of us covering this game since it is in early access. I've seen like 3 or 4 other creators pop up in my YouTube recommendations playing this game now, so it's definitely not just me. And my last run was me exclusively playing on what is now called Viceroy, so I wasn't exploring Prestige. But yeah, it's been in for a while. They've been adding new, like I will say this for the devs, they are adding new content every 2 weeks, which is a blistering pace. And a lot of that content is pretty good. Like, the new clay deposits, I like the look of. They took feedback. They've changed how artifacts look in 3 successive patches. Okay, Forsaken Crypt. So if I don't deal with it, all stored amber and wine will be lost. Joke's on you, I don't have any. But we'll lose an impatience point, which she's already pretty mad. And we can solve it with nothing that we have. And people get out. Okay. So, we need incense, tools, scrolls, or oil. Gotcha. Okay. That means that this looks like a good place for a market. Is it still early access even though it's on Steam now? Yes, it is still early access. They've said about 6 months out, which for those of you on YouTube I am repeating, but the chat hadn't shown up yet. I bet Steam release in a few days will give it more popularity. Yeah. And taking oil is an embark bonus for early glades. Yeah, that's a good call. Taking oil early definitely helps. I only took food in this case because I was worried about the fact that I'm playing on a map that has no fertile fields. Like, it explicitly has no fertile fields, and why don't you have any trees? Get over here. There we go. Okay, so we've got some hashtag housing for beavers up. In case you haven't noticed, that is a meme from this channel that chat created. Feel free to start saying things in the chat that you want me to repeat constantly as well. Welcome new villagers from camps found in glades. Okay, I love that. Much better than having to pack trade goods. Get incense and a monastery, or select keep goods option as a reward from glade events. I love this, especially since it gives me +1 planks production. Okay. So that's all neat. We've got our houses. We need 2 more glades. Which, I mean, we can open up 2 glades pretty quick if I'm not worried about them being spicy. I do insist on calling them vanilla, spicy, and flamin' hot, rather than I don't remember what the basic ones are called, but but rather than like dangerous and forbidden. What? I don't even know what's going on in my chat. I made the mistake of naming one of my town's only beaver fans, and now I guess that's becoming a thing. Okay, let's go here. So, what did we say we needed? We needed tools, incense, or... Well, it doesn't matter, because he doesn't have it. What he does have is tools. So, how many tools do I need? We need 12 tools. Okay, so we need 12 tools. 1, 2, 1, 2. We do the big click, and then we do the little click twice each. I'll sell you some copper ore. Sell you... Oh yeah, you can have all my resin. I don't mind that at all. And how about 382? That's more wood than you need. Great. Actually, okay, let's make it 482 wood. And let's buy as much fabric as we can. Yes. Trade. Great. I could have attacked him, and it probably would have made sense for me to attack him there, but I didn't. We are going to... You need bricks. That's perfect. Oh, that's so perfect. Okay. Why is that perfect? Well, it's perfect because my harpies are unhappy. And you're like, that's not good. Correct. It's not good. But harpy buildings, that's not where I want that. I am not ready to deliver that yet. Yeah. Harpy houses are made only with cloth, which sounds structurally unsound to me, but that's what they're made out of. And specialized housing gives like a +6 resolve bonus. Oh, they changed the order of this too. Oh, they shortened how many needs people had. Oh, that's gonna be rough. No, they still like... Is it food? No? I swear there used to be more than 8. But maybe I just miscounted? But yeah, so sheltered gives you a little bit of a bonus for having any housing. And you get much better for having specific housing for that species. So by buying cloth, I basically made sure I could build harpy housing to house all of my harpies so that they would be happy. So I could have happy housed harpies. Okay. Now, of course, storm's about to hit, so we have to fire all of our woodcutters. Get out, get out, get out. Get out, get out, get out. You are working that clay deposit. You are working those food. I could tighten up the... You know what? Let's just tighten up the travel times. Thing is, they're working both, so I don't want to move them too far away. I've only got one harpy here. That's fine. Let's add a beaver, just for the storm. We've got builders. What else do we need? We need a light post. And one feature that Prestige has is there's a specific building that'll let you sacrifice your villagers in order to get better perks. Now the problem is that it doesn't just sacrifice villagers, it also sacrifices some of the resources that you use to get upgrades via the Smoldering City. And given how quickly I have to get those upgrades, I'm not willing to do it. I'm not willing to slow down my overall progress for the sake of specific run bonuses, unless something goes horribly wrong. Hey, mushrooms! We can collect those via the herbalist camp. That's great. Of course, my beavers aren't terribly happy right now, but we should be able to solve that with a nice comforting... I was going to say a nice comforting tower, but maybe we want a flower garden. This looks like a nice place for a flower garden. And you know what? We're going to be a little bit inefficient with that flower garden. I think that's more than I need, but it should be fine. It's very sturdy cloth. Yeah, the cloth is thick. It would have to be to support the weight. Like, I could understand if it was supposed to be tense, but this looks like it's made out of cloth and glass, of all things. Maybe some wood across the top? Like, I don't know. This does not look like a building that can be made with just cloth. I have to assume that my Harpy settlers are bringing some kind of building materials from home when they show up, and the cloth is the only thing they need me to provide. Just order changed there by category now. Okay, apparently they were always 8 and not 10, and I just couldn't count. I'm envisioning that they live in tents where the poles are just super coiled ropes, so still cloth. That'd be... Okay, but what are the ropes attached to? Because you still need something for them to be slung over, some kind of frame. Like, I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, what if instead of 4 cloth, it was 3 cloth and 1 logs? Not planks, just logs, the regular kind that you can cut down from the lumber camp. Like, maybe 3 cloth and 2 logs, right? Just to imagine that they're making a frame on which to hang a tent. Something. This patch also added a third type of road. It lowered how good paved road is, but now you can make roads out of copper, which seems weird. But you know what? You do you, game. Oh, okay, so we went straight to Hub, which gives us +2 global resolve, thus solving our happiness issue. But we need more housing, and we have an order to get more housing anyway. Hey, humans. And we're going to have one especially... Yeah. This is... Okay. This is just straight up RP at this point. No. No. Not that. That's not status effect enough. I'm thinking Wait, where is the roads? Yeah, okay, so I've got that on the right side. And then we have this, and then maybe, yes. There we go. Wasting time on RP. I like the use of copper in ore form for when you get some incidentally but can't smelt it. That is definitely useful. What do they do to dog rope toys to make them stiff? That's what the harpies do to structure their houses. Okay. Okay, I see where you're coming from. That might work. Hey, calming the forest a second time? Oh, yeah. Let's do that. I can't wait to be walking on the copper road and have lightning strike me during the storm. Oh, that would be an interesting mechanic. Okay. That would be quite the forest mystery. I would be down for that. Yeah, so let's get this pack. I like that pack of people. Did you know people come in packs? Well, they do. Though I guess since we're apes, it would be troops. Though I guess we kind of called ourselves tribes before we started classifying what animals call themselves, so I'm just being silly now. Not that I wasn't being silly before. I'm just kind of silly, if you didn't notice. And then I was going to put these in here, so I might as well still do that. Let's see, we have harpies where? Let's get a harpy in this. Set a cap of 10 so I don't burn through 10. So I don't burn through all of my fuel. We'll go ahead and have 2 humans finally work this, which we're going to get the downside because I didn't do it fast enough. But we're going to keep goods rather than get the point. Because this is going to give us... Well, it doesn't really matter what it's going to give us. We're going to do it because we've got an order to do that. So, that's what we're doing. That's just what we're doing. People are working that. People are working that. This is out of stuff to work. Nope, there's fuel up here. Not my favorite fuel, but fuel nonetheless. Okay, so we've got our housing. What do we have over here? You know, I sold all of my resin, which in retrospect was probably dumb. Okay. That's fine. It's K. Everything is K. Hey, we opened 5 glades. Great. Let's turn that in. Gives us planks and bricks. That's wonderful. Okay, so the scribe creates scrolls, which are good for beavers and harpies, ale, which is good for humans and beavers, and simple tools, which I already have a better way to make. The smokehouse lets us turn certain things into jerky, but I don't have those things, and then pottery and incense both at 1 star, so I'm going to ignore those. The brickyard lets me make bricks more efficiently than my crude workstation, which is useful for making human houses and a number of other buildings. Pottery, which can then be used for ale and wine and pickled goods, but I do have a cellar, so I could already use some of that pottery, but I need access to clay, and crystallized dew, which would let me make tools if I get the ability to make crystallized dew, like if I get the stuff needed to make it. So brickyard's probably my best bet, but a close runner-up is the temple, which gives religion for humans and education for beavers and harpies, using incense and scrolls respectively, but then Sacrament of the Flame makes it so that when you sacrifice goods in the hearth, they burn longer, so you can burn less fuel to get more of a resolve bonus. Or, I shouldn't call it a resolve bonus, to get more of a hostility discount. But we're going to get the brickyard here, and we're going to put the brickyard directly opposite the fuel factory. And since the brickyard only needs planks, we're going to turn off bricks here. You now only make fabric, and since you only make fabric, let's make it a harpy. Not because it needs to be a harpy in that building, but all of the fabric-specific buildings harpies love working in. So this way, when I change the building, I can just move that worker to a new building. Human housing means we finished our second order. Okay, so immediately I'm taking the foragers camp. Because we don't, like, we need every source of food that we can get when the map does not have fertile ground. So we're getting a foragers camp, even if I can't use it yet. Wow, that's a lot of roots. Okay. Hey, foragers camp. Already has a spot that it can go. That's great. Don't need anyone working it yet. That's being worked on. This needs... Oh, okay, we're getting resin pretty quick. But I think I want the converted rain totem. Let's go ahead and send... Oh, no, it'll raise the hostility of the forest will. It's being worked. So we want to wait until we have the resin before we do that. Now, when I said role-playing, I was saying that, like, this human house is clearly, like, the governor's house. The house itself isn't anything special, but look at that. It's got a garden. It's got ferns down the side. It has a giant pillar in front of the front window, which probably makes the window harder to use. But, hey, it looks impressive. And that is the point of any rich person, to look impressive. Let's see what we got. First off, let's take a look at our Glade event. If we're not using resin, we can use planks or basically any type of fuel. You have planks. We could buy planks, which seems dumb because I can make planks pretty easily, so I'm not going to do that. We can buy food. We can buy pottery. I don't think Sahilda actually has anything I want. Huh. That's weird. Well, hey, Sahilda, loved your work. Would love to see you come back. But I think for now, we are just going to... nothing. We're gonna nothing, because we're fine. Yeah. Bye, Sahilda. Okay. I guess the Wells Fargo wagon wasn't a source of great enjoyment this time. If you have not seen Music Man, it's a fun musical. And Disney remade it a few years ago, and it was still fun despite who they cast as the main guy. Let's go ahead and throwing serious shade there for an actually decent actor. I don't know why I said that. I don't like the thing that a lot of musicals do when they have a kid and they have the kid sing in an extremely nasal kid voice. It sounds awful. Like, there are some talented kid singers who can hit notes and keep them. I don't know why they do this. We've got one resin there. Well, one resin there. And a resin there. Nope, that should be enough. Cool. So as soon as all of this gets delivered, I'm going to pull this beaver off of wood cutting, which slightly lowers the hostility level of the forest. And more importantly, we have 21 resin, so I can send 2 beavers over here to do this, which will seriously raise the hostility of the forest for a season. But let's go ahead and fire some beavers, I think. Now let's leave one in there. At least until he finishes his deliveries. Okay, so that lowers the hostility a little bit. Not enough to make harpies happy, but it should be enough that I can play some Resolve Pong. And yes, this does lower how much fuel we have. Increased Glade working speed. Let's do that. So instead of... yeah. So now we only have to do this for 2 minutes. I've got to... okay. I messed that up. Next set of orders. Get 50 cosmetics and a bathhouse, or fulfill my villagers' need for cleanliness 75 times, which is basically the same thing, except we need 75 cosmetics. The difference is, right, that with this one, we're going to have to go with bathing, I think. Because I can tell them they're not allowed to bathe while I build up supplies. Okay, so that's finished, and they're bringing that stuff back. This is about a minute out. I think we're going to be okay. Harvester's camp is out. Where is the Harvester's camp? Let's go ahead and move this around. Is there not another set somewhere? There might not be. That is perfectly fine, because we don't have anyone working this... oh, we do. Okay. Still perfectly fine. We'll find something for these humans to do. Well, for one thing, I'm going to fire this person. I don't think I need them right now. And we're going to put them in here. Let's put one of each in there. You guys almost done? I would love it if you finished. Storm's coming real soon. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. So that finishes, and it finishes just in time for the storm to hit, so we're going to fire these guys. Let's turn in our order. Yeah, okay. Now we are going to go ahead and put harpies in here, because normally I'd put lizards. Lizards get a resolve bonus, but harpies have that 10% chance for double production, which means that we can be more efficient with our fuel sources when making when making the what is this called? Purging fire. Whenever possible, we want that bonus 10% chance for double production. It is massive for your economy. Absolutely massive. Now, of course, harpies are unhappy again because we're in the storm, and they're not all housed, which, you know, kind of makes sense. We should think about making a second hub now that this one has all the people that it needs. I mean, that's not a lot of people, and normally I build a lot bigger, but since I don't have access to the Tier 3 hub, I can be efficient with this and get some stacking bonuses going. Let's go ahead and drop a hearth here. I'll put roads around it. And maybe a storage building. Okay. Right, we're gonna need some rain collectors. There we go. Let's go ahead and favor the harpies for the second half of the storm. And let's move this up here and dig in like so. So we know the drill. Repopulate the beavers. Do 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 do. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Sure. Let's go ahead and rebuild that. I think we've got all the stuff we need. Yeah, more than enough. Okay, every open cache lowers hostility, and minus 40 hostility for every hub upgraded to level neighborhood or higher. Okay, gain +1 to human resolve for every... Let's go with Safe Haven. We're just going to stack modifiers for lowering hostility of the forest. Because we've already got Calming the Forest, and because of how early we got that, we got it twice. Yes, Housing for Beavers, exactly. We need to make more. This works. We also need to make housing for harpies, because harpies need houses too. And I should probably get a woodcutter's camp up here to free up some more space for this second hub's development. Yeah, we need to cut all these trees. These trees must go. There's just too many trees. Get rid of that, get rid of that. That looks good. Looks good. Yes. Okay. And then on this side... There we go. Okay. Now, of course, that doesn't do anything without me actually putting a lumber camp up there. But what can you do? They're using that, they're doing that. I'm just going through and checking to see where I should have more people. Have them make some tools. We can set a limit of 100 bricks, which we are going to make, yeah, out of... Yep, that works. And let's say bricks first, then pottery, then crystallized dew, and we'll populate it with a pair of beavers. Let's take this up to 50. Yes. Should be enough. And then I've got like 5 people left over who are all builders. Nobody is working this small hearth, so we'll set a human in there. And then that means that these will instantly get populated. Make another house. Hi, Jorg. What do you have? Food production speed, bonus herbs, faster traders, and bonus pottery. Bonus pottery would actually be kind of good. We need cosmetics. We need a bathhouse. Yeah, okay. Well, we can buy oil at this point, which a lot of Glade events need, and we can buy other types of food. Like if I'm willing to sell them all of my ancient tablets, we can get quite a lot of food out of it. Quite a lot of food out of it. Sure. We'll do that. So now we've got some advanced food that people are going to like eating. And we can put some harpies in here. And we've got so much stored that I don't mind going to 40 for this. I've got 2 leftover people that can work this glade when it gets opened, but I don't think I need to do that this year. So we are just going to make some space. Stonecutter's camp has nothing to do with stone cut. Well, where else could I put you? You don't have anything else. Okay, that's fair enough. Do I have any additional parts? No. So I can't make more lumber camps. This is out of stuff to collect. Just wait for them to give me the little icon that says they got nothing they can do. There it is. We'll move it up here. Get those roots. Herbalist camp has nothing that it can collect, but that's okay. There's some pretty big berry patches right here. I've got 10 tools, and that means if we go here, now these are food resources for the Citadel upgrades. That's great. We need as many of those as we can get because, again, we don't have a lot of time to unlock all the resources we're going to be needing to deal with higher level prestiges. Shift that there. And let's build another beaver house right there. Hey, 2 events looted. That's great. We can turn this in. Get even more tools, plus bonus plank and oil production. Not that I have anything that makes oil yet. But getting more tools will let us open up some more caches, which we can decide what to do with as we open them. That's great. That's really great. Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and increase the population here. So I think 6 more houses would take me to my usual cap of 24 houses per village. And I've got a lot of unhoused people that I need to make happier, so let's just go ahead and do that. Make a little harpy block. Run a road that way. $26. We might take this all the way up to 26 just so I can get more housing down. Oh, we've got another building we can get. Excellent. Okay. Brawling and education. We need cosmetics and a bathhouse. So we need something that lets me make cosmetics. So I'm thinking I'm just going to take the apothecary. I don't love the apothecary here, but we're taking it because we know we need it. Are you a 3x3? You are. Lovely. The road pattern for these houses makes no sense, but, you know, whatever. And actually, we're just going to overcap our housing in this area just completely. There, you guys can live on the edge of town. And that way I've got plenty of housing for any people that might come in the next year, since I haven't done anything to clear around my second hub. Let's go ahead and wipe those trees out. And you know, I've been firing my beavers since I couldn't get any wood from cutting trees during the storm. But at this point, cutting fast to just make space kind of appeals to me. So I'm gonna leave them in. I'm gonna let them go ahead and chop all this wood and get nothing from it, just to give me the space and the kind of clean edges that I like. Chat's saying that someone forgot the hashtag for housing for beavers, which is true, they did forget. Paved roads, yes, absolutely. I love paved roads. Let's go ahead and tell the brickyard to not use stone for anything. Excellent. And, yep, excellent. So what we're going to do, how much stone do we have? 11? Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nope, 10. Main Street is now a paved road. Great. We're slowly burning those blight rot cysts. I haven't done anything as far as packs of provisions go to do trade routes, so I should probably do that. Yeah, let's make a makeshift post right there. That looks good. The reason these haven't built is I don't have parts, so we're gonna have to try to buy parts if we can. Ah, yes. Lumber camp is out of stuff to lumber camp, which is exactly what I wanted to have happen. Everybody's unhappy, and there's stuff I could do about that, but I'm just not gonna. This is just gonna be... And by not gonna, I mean I totally am. I totally am. Let's lower the hostility enough that they're happy. There we go. We got 28 tools. That's a lot of tools. That's really good. Let's go here. Okay. Gain tools when I open a glade, but my woodcutters have low resolve. No. Glade event working speed is fast, but resources I sacrifice in the hearth burn for a shorter time period. I like this because that way we can get glades finished before they have real negatives. Every 2 burnt blight rots lowers hostility by 10, but you cannot sacrifice resources while it's being... Yes, 100% yes. Between Calming the Forest, which is going to lower hostility, Safe Haven, which is going to lower hostility, and now Baptism of Fire, which will lower hostility, I might be able to get negative hostility. You can't actually get negative, but I might be able to keep it at 0, is what I'm saying. We need cosmetics, right? And you don't have any. I mean, you've got incense, and you've got ale, and you've got training gear, and you've got scrolls, but you don't have incense because you hate me. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. Let's... Plus 25% clearance duration. That actually sounds kind of cool. I don't know what I'd sell you, though. Actually, I don't know what I'd sell you at all. I want these things. Bye. It's really not my playstyle to play evil. It's really not my playstyle to play evil. I'm not going to attack him. You can attack the trader. That's what this button down here does. And it loses you like 3 to 4 villagers and the queen gets impatient. But you get like half his stuff. Which, you know, nice economic boost. But then traders come less frequently because now you get a reputation. It's a whole thing. And I don't like doing it. I think we actually take this for the amber and the points. Well, it's not really my style either, but let's go ahead and do that because there's no food. Oh, wait, no, hold up. First, we rehire our beavers. Then we go here and we work this glade. That's 14. I think I've actually got enough beavers, so let's take this patch. How many people live here now? 31. Yeah, massive overkill on the housing for that area. What if the trader is evil? Good question. Yes, but since all they do is sell me stuff and do a little bit of price gouging, I really don't think that's worth their life. And there's a hidden trader cemetery where previous viceroys have killed traders. I love that they added this. This was a new event like a couple of weeks ago, and I think it's great that they're like, you know, sometimes we let people attack the trader, so let's put a cemetery for what happens to show that that happens. All goods worth 50% less if I don't cover this up. Ah, but I can cover it up with resin. That's nice. Get 60 hostility points every 60 seconds while I'm working it. Okay. But for this one, let's turn it in. Turn it in, turn it in. Was that? I think I was just memeing off an old Glade plugin commercial. I don't know what ads look like these days. It's been like between ad blockers and being very careful about what content I consume. Like the only ads I really see are the ones that are embedded in YouTube clips now, you know, where someone will just stop and be like, and now where I take a moment to talk about our sponsor. I don't have a sponsor, so don't worry, I'm not doing that yet. I totally would, though. If anyone wants to sponsor me, I would love the money. I mean, I'll have to try any products you want me to sponsor first, because I'm not going to lie on camera. But I would 100% do it. There we go. So that's good. That's progressing nicely. That's progressing. Okay, so what do I have that I can use to make packs of provisions? Just herbs. Okay, well, it looks like just herbs it is, but go ahead, and we're not going to put a cap on them, because I'm going to need quite a few. I mean, even after I fulfill the mission, I'm still going to want more for, like, getting money that I can then use on traders to get everything that we need to make this place run without farms. I do like that they have these kind of built-in game-affecting modifiers that make you play differently. I think that's a really cool mechanic. And that it ties into how you actually play. Like the fact that you get a cemetery for traders that players have killed in the course of the game is really cool. Even though I personally haven't done it, it makes me think that I live in a more vibrant universe, in a cyclic universe too, right? So like I'm just one viceroy. So even though I'm not competing with anyone yet, maybe there were other viceroys before me. Maybe something happened to them. I mean, my headcanon is that the in-game civil war that they talk about in some of the lore didn't actually happen. Like, I like to think that it's all a story that the queen set up to preserve her power. That she tells a story about like who people are and where they came from, but it's not real. It's just a myth that they just live in this kind of terrible rainy world, and there was never a time before it was always like this. You know, like what if Narnia during the always winter but never Christmas, except that that's not a curse, that's just Narnia. That's just how that place be. You'll notice my harpies are sad again, and that's because of all the extra hostility from that. So as soon as they cleared it up, I get my hostility back. And Farlift shows up just on time. I just got a influx of money. So hey, look at that. We can lower the hostility of the forest. We can also give brief resolve. Let's start here. Can I get 13 more? You don't have cosmetics. You do have parts. I desperately need parts. Okay. And since I need parts, I'm actually willing to sell definitely my ancient tablets, but also not this, but the parts needed to make it definitely, and maybe like I'm not willing to sell tools. I'll sell resin. I'll sell you 65 planks. 44 bricks. 45 bricks? We're almost there on bricks. Oh, nope, I overshot. Hey, 0.01. That is as close as I'm going to get. But then we're going to increase beaver resolve. So, hashtag happiness for beavers. Everything for beavers. Provisioner would be a more efficient way of getting provisions to make the trade routes. The temple or market. You know what? No, we need a bathhouse for cleanliness anyway, so I'm going to take a temple here. You don't happen to have scrolls or... No, you don't. Had I known I was going to get a temple, I would have bought those earlier, but I didn't know, and so I didn't buy them. Okay, we're going to evict these further over this way. Really wishing I made my second hub in this location down here. But, you know, whatever. You try things, they don't always work. Let's make a temple. We have some tools, so what if I came up here and turned this in? So we've lowered hostility by 100 here, and by 40 for now, and by 50 there. What was that? Wasn't there a third one? 50 there. I could have sworn there was another one. Whatever, I'm stacking hostility modifiers. It's great. That thunder roll is an indication that you're getting close to the storm. I like that that's there, because it's a subtle bit of soundtrack that fits the universe very well, but doesn't but it also serves a functional purpose. It's really good that they factor that into play when you're a minute or half a minute away from the storm. I love that. And once again, we are going to go ahead and leave this out here to just carve the forest in peace during the storm. I'll leave both if I can, but I don't think we can handle the unhappiness. Yeah, I think I have to fire at least these guys. And one of these guys. Which will make it so that only the harpies are seriously unhappy. Speaking of harpies, let's fire these guys, because we don't really need them. We have enough cloth. And put them in the rain collector, because we are going to need spark dew. That's going well. That's going well. Halfway point, so time to let the beavers get a little less happy. You know, I feel like we are dealing with the lack of fertile ground pretty well. Okay, so let's unfavor the harpies, rehire our beavers. And do an outro, because I think this is about how... Oh my word. Let's get it a third time, or let's get another one. I mean, I can get free coal. No, let's go with the hostility. We're just going to keep stacking hostility modifiers. That's fun. Okay, so we're at basically an hour and 15 minutes, which means if you sat here this long, give me all your attention. I really appreciate it. I know these are long. If you're watching this on YouTube, keep in mind you can catch me live Friday nights at 9:30 and Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Generally go for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours until I finish a town. Sometimes it's a little less if the second half of one of these towns goes really smoothly, like happened last time. Sometimes it's a little longer. If I'm really feeling chat, if people are talking to me, I'll stay on and maybe do an extra half town. So you can catch me live. Of course, if you're watching me on Twitch, you can check out all previous episodes of this on YouTube. And I don't just do gaming content. I've got some other videos out there and some other videos coming that are going to be a sharp departure from gaming content, because I've got some ideas on culture that I want to talk about. So hope to see you there. In the meantime, I very much appreciate you taking this time with me. I hope to see you in the next one. Have yourself a great day.